Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Appreciate you checking out the previous videos. Go ahead and subscribe while you're here. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, leave me a comment. It really helps out the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and once I do that, the blue is coming off this plastic Nova. I'm going to peel it off, start working on the paint, and I'm only about 150 subscribers away, so help a brother out. Now, 69 Nova. It's been a lot of work doing the quarter panels, the roof skin, outer wheel houses, tail light panel, trunk drop-offs, and the deck filler. It's been a lot of work. It'll probably be a two-part video because I've got so much footage of what I was doing, and it's been a lot of work, a lot more than I thought it was going to be, just because I'm running a business also, so that takes precedent over all my car stuff. So anyway, it's summertime. I'm in the HVAC business. I'm going to be busy. This is going to fall behind a little bit, and this time it's more so than I thought. Enough excuses. All right, so we decided to take Craig's 70 Dart that he's going to run against this Nova. It's got a 318 out of a 97 Magnum truck, and a Ram truck. It's a 318 Magnum out of a 97 Ram truck. I'll get it right in a minute. It's a Mopar. I don't know much about them. Right? So anyway, we're going to change a cam on that this week. So we decided to get a baseline first. Now that engine is a stock long block. It's got a Chinese intake on it, some kind of air gap Chinese intake. It's got a Holley 600 carburetor on it, and it's got headers. That is it. No other modifications to the engine. So we've got a cam that we're going to put in it, but we decided to take it over to Brian's house first, over to his shop, put it on the Chassis Dyno, and get a baseline number. Let's look at that. What's your real prediction? 210. 210. He's putting the right down here. 233. Okay, so 233 horsepower. Not bad. That's at the wheels. That's not bad at all. And that is a DynoJet corrected number. That is not the. He's got a Dyno Dynamics dyno, but I guess the standard is to correct it to a DynoJet number, which is what he did there. So anyway, yeah, so 233 horsepower, not too bad. That was at 4,200 RPM, somewhere around there. And we expect to increase the RPM on that thing by at least 1,000. The cam going in has, I think it's 230 at 50 and around 480 lift. I think it's like 460 something lift on the cam with 1.5, but he's using the 1.6 rockers with the Magnum heads. He's putting a flat tappet in there, taking the hydraulic roller out, and it's going to be 485 lift. I think that's what we figured up with the Magnum rockers on it. So 485 lift, 230 at 50. The cam I'm using in this, I'll get to that, the whole engine combination at the end of this video, tell you what I'm doing there. So yeah, not too bad. So we're going to get the car over here, change a cam, get back to Brian's dyno, put it back on there, make a few more pulls, and we'll get the air fuel ratio a little closer. It wasn't far off today, and it probably didn't make a 5 or 6 horsepower difference, but we didn't do any tuning. We just put the car on the dyno and ran it up. So appreciate Brian taking the time out of his day to squeeze us in real quick. He's a busy guy. He also has the machine shop that's doing the work on the 307 for this. So anyway, thanks for checking out all the videos. Hit the subscribe button if I haven't already begged you to do that. Hit the like button for me, and turn on the bell notification so you'll get a notification every time I post a new video, and you won't have to go searching for it. You'll get notified right away. Now, let's talk about my 307. The biggest problem with building a 307, other than the fact it's a 307, is pistons and building compression. So 305 Chevrolet, there's a couple of hundred pistons, forged pistons available, cast pistons, hypertechnic pistons, domes, flat tops, dish, anything you want, it's all there. All right. The 305 has a 3.73 bore or something like that. The 307 has a 3.875 bore, so it's a 3 7/8 bore. Now, same bore as a 283. 350, 4-inch bore. That 1/8 of an inch difference makes a huge power difference. You know, if you got a 4-inch bore with the same crank as 307, you've got a 327. Now, they don't offer any performance pistons for a 307. They do for a 283, not a lot, but they do offer forged pistons. The only forged pistons you can find that are for 307 are new old stock on eBay. A lot of them don't even match. They're the same part number, but the pistons are different because the sets have been assembled out of different versions of the same part number. So that wasn't really an option. The motor will clean up at 30 over. There was a little bit of trash or a little bit of pitting in one of the cylinders, but everything else was pretty good. All the other cylinders I think were good. So I sat down with my Summit Racing app and figured out what I'm going to do. So a 30 over 307 has a 3.905 bore. What a coincidence, so does an LS1, or at least some of the LS engines have a 3.905 bore. There is no shortage of performance parts for an LS engine. So I found an LS piston that is forged flat top, 2 valve reliefs. It has the compression height I need to use a 6-inch rod or a 6/100 rod, I'm not sure. So I'll have a long rod in it, stock crank. Still going to be a 307, well, it'll be a 30 over 307. So it's going to be a 30 over 307, forged pistons, 6.100 inch rod, and a stock 3.25 stroke 307 crank. I'm going to have it balanced, but my other option was to buy good rods and order custom pistons, and custom pistons are going to be $800 to $1,000 depending on where you get them from and you know what you have done. So I was able to find some already forged LS pistons with the right compression height. I had to, that's why I'm having to use the 6.100 inch rod or 6-inch rod. I have to look again, I can't remember. But anyway, so the pin is the same diameter, the big end of the rod is the same width, so I won't have any problems putting first generation rods. So it's going to be an interesting little motor. Now, as far as the heads, I've already had a set of 416 casting HO heads from a 305 Chevy. They have a 58cc chamber. They have like 165cc intake runners. I'm having a competition valve job done on them, so he's going to use the bowl hog to go in there and do that. I'm leaving the 184 valves and the 150 exhaust valves. Don't want to go too big. I think if you go too big on the valves, you can't go bigger than 194 because you'll be, if you don't hit the cylinder, you're going to be shrouding the intake charge coming into the cylinder so much that it won't run. Or I mean, it won't flow good. So with the smaller valve, it'll probably flow a little bit better. Anyway, so 184 valves on the intake, 150 on the exhaust, competition valve job, so he's going to have the whole hog go in there. Springs for the cam. The cam I'm using is a Comp Cams 280H. It's a basic cam, 230 at 50, 480 lift. It's almost identical to the cam that Craig's putting in the 318. His is a dual pattern, mine's a single pattern, but it's going to be real close. I think it's going to be around 10-to-1 compression, 9.5 to 10-to-1. Like I said, even with a 58cc chamber, you're not building a lot of compression on a 307. There's just not much to work with as far as cylinder, size. So anyway, 307, 10-to-1 compression, a decent set of heads, not terrible. They don't have to flow a whole lot for a 307. Pretty healthy camshaft for a 307. It's going to have a pretty choppy idle in that small of an engine. Forged pistons, good rods, stock crank, 2-bolt main block. I'm not afraid of it. I think it's going to be fine, and I'll probably eventually spray it just because I got forged pistons. Why not? I like nitrous. I like it a lot. So we're gonna play with that on this car and on Franken Nova. So we don't know what we're going to end up with. Maybe a high 12, low 13 second car, we hope. Maybe down into the 12s, just depends on how the combination of both cars together work. I've got a 410 gear, he's using a 373 gear, and he's using a shorter tire than I'm using, so it's going to work out to the same RPM and effective gear ratio with the tire size he's got and the tire size I'm going to put on this thing. So anyway, videos coming on this with all the sheet metal work. Videos coming on the engine from Frank and Nova. I'm building a test stand to crank the engine up, run it in, break in the cam and all that stuff. That's going to be a good video. I'll go over the engine for Frank and Nova, everything that's been done to it. And anyway, that video is coming up soon. See you guys next time.